Many of the people who are following this conversation on YouTube, on Radio Garden, on TikTok, on X, are outside of the borders of the Republic of Kenya. Many of them. And many of those that do that have, of course, known how to do this. They know that, you have to invest back home. Or you want to support people back home. And you want to send in remittances. And my friend, the amount of money that comes from the diaspora back into this country is a lot. For example, in the month of January, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, diaspora remittances to Kenya, 412,410 US dollars. January peke yake. February, 385,000 US dollars. March, 407,000 US dollars. April, 397,000 US dollars. May, 404,000, and so on and so forth. A lot of money. Mm-hmm. A lot of money coming back into the country. Now, those people in the diaspora want to also engage with our banks the same way that they would do when they're locally. And that's why we have our guest here from Credit Bank to come and talk to us about digitization and how to bank the diaspora. Jean Karienye is the head of digitization and digital products at Credit Bank PLC. Good morning, Jean.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Now that we're talking to the diaspora, we don't say good morning or good afternoon or good evening because we don't know.
Good day.
Because there's good day.
Good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
City is going to welcome you with the day's proverb. This week the proverbs are from the Federal Republic of Somalia.
Yeah.
Who's the president of the Federal Republic of Somalia?
Currently,
Yeah.
take a guess.
A big one.
It's called Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud.
Yeah, I was going to tell you he's Sheikh.
He's a prime minister called Hamza Abdi Bare. Then, this is interesting. They have the Senate, which has a speaker called Abdi Hashi. Then they have a speaker of the House called Aden Madobe. It's very interesting. The way they've constructed their parliament. It's why I keep mentioning this is because it tells me that you can actually fashion your political setup to suit your purposes. Yes. It doesn't have to be you parliamentary, then presidential. You can mix it up. You can decide how it is you want it to be. Yes. But anyway, we are not following any dictate in this country as we've already has ours mixed up. We have a presidential system, and what ours means is the president does what he wants.
Do the guys in Hargeisa, Somaliland, recognize Sheikh Hassan?
I think that one. That one is the question, isn't it?
We leave it to them.
They will leave it to them. I'm sure they'll, if you ask them, tell you, I think Sheikh Hassan knows who he is.
Okay.
So and that's good enough. Indeed.
What's the proverb?
The proverb for today is very simple. These youth taught their mother to give birth. Yes.
These youth taught their mother to give birth. Jean. It's a simple proverb, isn't it?
Is it?
Very simple.
Well, I would attribute it to the older generation having known things during their time, but need to learn from the upcoming generations. That's how.
Snap.
Yabu, snap it for us as well, no?
I mean, I just had a eureka moment. I was like, yeah, it's actually true.
Thank you.
Yeah. In the present day, you learn things that you didn't know before.
The youth bring fresh context.
Yes, they do.
Very good.
They do.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. First of all, tell us about Credit Bank.
Okay.
For those who have never heard of Credit Bank, or those that have seen Credit Bank but have never entered, or those that even bank with Credit Bank but because they were looking for a bank and they bank, and those that are happy with credit.
Okay. So Credit Bank was founded in 1986. So we've been easily around for the last 35 plus years. We have 16 branches across the country and mostly in urban towns. For the longest time, we were referred to as an SME niche bank, but we did see an opportunity to diversify our products and delve into the retail space by building products that are relevant to the retail customer. And one of those products is the Nyumbani Diaspora account that we are speaking about today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. Now, let's talk about the diaspora. There are very many Kenyans who live and work outside of the country, or some of them are even studying outside of the country. And from what you've seen as a bank, what are the trends in terms of their banking needs and their banking habits as well?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So a few stats, first of all. So there's an estimated 3 to 4 million documented Kenyans living abroad today. Yeah. And then when it comes to need, of course, the Kenyan in the diaspora is looking for convenience when it comes to opening an account. They are looking for affordability when it comes to remitting money back home. And then they're looking for opportunities where they can ensure that this money works for them. So those are some of the factors that we looked at. If you look at the industry today, most of the financial institutions either require you to physically visit their agent with your physical forms, account opening forms that have been notarized. And now that kicks off the account opening process. And then also stats show that it takes an average of 6 to 9% cost to remit funds back home. That's quite high. Yeah. And then when it comes to investment opportunities.
Why is it so high?
That's almost 10% of what you're sending. You're sending $1,000, you're going to spend $100 to send it back.
Just the cost of sending.
Why? It depends. It depends with the points of integration that you have to do as a financial institution when it comes to facilitating the remittance of these funds. And then looking at investment opportunities, we've had cases of people who are sending money back home, maybe to build a project, only to come back to a Mabati structure.
Let me ask, please allow me to interrupt you.
Yes, please.
I want to understand this point of integration. What is it and how does it work?
So by integration, I basically mean we leverage on technology. Because as a Kenyan in the diaspora, you're not available physically. So how are we going to digitize the process of you opening an account, of us validating who you are, validating or looking at the documents or the data that you're providing for us to be compliant with the regulator. So that's what I mean by regulation. And then in terms of remittance, we are not physically present there. But how do we enable you to send your money directly to your credit bank account back home?
So this process of enabling is what produces the cost?
To some extent, yes.
And the other extent, which isn't to
this one?
It's not summed.
So there are many factors at play, especially when it comes to...
The reason why I ask is one of the things that people often talk about with regards to banks, costs. You know, this is your statement, then there's this, and then you know what is this, and then the other one.
One transaction has like 3 different costs that come in. And 1 shilling 50 cents here, 5 shillings 60 cents there, 7 bob.
Okay.
Levy what?
We're used to Kenya Power telling us all these things we didn't understand. But
so the truth of the matter is, as a financial institution in Kenya, you don't have presence out there. So you have to partner with other institutions that are licensed to operate in that area. So there's need to factor in
so
their
you're using their
well.
facilities,
yes.
And that comes with a cost.
Yes, it does.
That's why. Okay, so then as you got off that, I feel that you were saying that usually it's so expensive, but that there is a way out, or not.
So we managed to find a way using our diaspora Nyumbani account, Nyumbani diaspora account, sorry. So I think the most difficult part was for us to think around solutioning and providing a one-stop shop. Providing a solution that allows this Kenyan in the diaspora, first of all, to open their account digitally and efficiently, ensure that they can remit at a lower cost than the average 6 to 9%. And we have managed to ensure that we are able to remit your funds below 5%. Our cost is below 5%.
Hang on.
Okay.
Now, sometimes, so like when you send money, right? If you're doing it, because obviously this is bank to bank. So I like this $1,000 that, CT will give me at some point. But so $1,000, right? And you're saying 5% of that is $50, right? Is that the total amount that we're talking about, or is that the sending? And then I will have to be charged to also receive the money?
No, so we don't charge the recipient.
Okay, because sometimes it will be less because there was, there's a certain duty that is levied and such.
So we've factored in the cost.
All of that is factored. Yeah. Okay. What does then that mean? And are you looking at caps that can be placed on the kinds of monies that you send? Because just looking at the numbers that Erica talked about, that big numbers of money that's coming into the country anyway. And so folks are doing big ticket items with them building, investment, etc. Is there a cap on the amounts that you can now send with, fluidity and such?
Yes. So depending on the compliance that is stipulated today, there are specific caps when it comes to remitting funds, but we are able to have this conversation at the point of remitting. And what it means by us also being able to manage the cost, it allows the Kenyan in the diaspora to be able to remit much more, and enabling more Kenyans in the diaspora to send money back home. So one of the things we've observed is that around the time when schools are being opened, the wave of remittance is quite high, because people are sending money for education, for their siblings, for their children. And other times when Kenyans are sending money is to support with medical, household, food and stuff. So we want to ensure that you're able to send money back home at any instance and affordably.
At any instance.
Yeah.
And this is made possible because of the digitalization process.
Of the digitization that we've done. So number one, you're able to instantly open your Nyumbani Diaspora account. So you could be seated in whichever state that you're in. Just by visiting our website, you're able to open this account instantly.
Take us through that. Can we do that here?
We can.
Okay.
Yes.
I will do it.
Though the system will pick that you're not in the
It'll tell
diaspora.
that where
The system that we're testing it.
tell system.
Tell them that we are in the
Kenya is diaspora. So you go to
our website.
What's the URL?
www.creditbank.co.ke.
Okay. And then you will then select
You select under the personal products.
Yep.
You will see the current account. Then the Nyumbani Diaspora account
So it's one of those.
is listed there.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can access it from your mobile device as well.
You can access it from your mobile. You can access it from your laptop.
Current account and do that one.
The
Current.
personal. Go to personal and then current. Then you will see the Nyumbani Diaspora.
current personal.
Just click on the personal.
Oh, there's a
Personal
tab.
current account.
There's a personal. Yeah.
Up there.
Up. There's a tab for personal.
Up.
Oh, voila.
Yes.
Up
So
the
under
page.
current.
There. Current. Why so many
Current
steps,
is a
Bwana?
Current.
So we have
And then
different
another-
products.
Nyumbani Diaspora.
Yes.
Nyumbani Diaspora.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on
And
this
here we
mini
are.
site, we've been able to also give the different benefits that
Okay.
are available for this account.
And
Take
I can
us
tell
through
you
those
what they are.
Okay.
So now, the first one, no minimum operating balance. What does that mean?
It means you do not need to hold a specific amount in the account for it to be operational.
Please clarify, because we also know there's free education. But, yeah.
So you can deplete the account. It can remain with zero, or you can retain
Or is there
$1 million.
before zero?
So for you to open the account, there's a minimum that you have
To
to
open.
open with.
Yeah.
But after that,
You can deplete.
You
you
can
can
deplete
deplete it.
and
But
top up
because
as
of the advantages that we've put on this particular account, there will be no need to deplete the funds in
Okay.
the account.
The next benefit then?
Secure internet and mobile banking.
Exactly. So that basically means once you've opened the account and you've funded it, you have access to our digital channels and that access allows you to manage the funds in your account. So if you are paying for fees, most institutions today have a digital method that you can pay them with.
Yeah.
So you're able to log into internet or mobile banking from where you are and make the payments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Free monthly e-statements.
It just means we give you visibility into
what
your
you've
account
done.
of what is happening in
Okay.
your account. Yes.
Free internal transfers.
If you're sending money from your Nyumbani Diaspora account to another account within Credit Bank, we're not going to charge you for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Access to a Visa debit card. I have questions.
Okay, so that basically means we will be able to ship you your debit card wherever you are. And then if you're the kind of person who needs to do shopping online or you need to go to the mall with your card, you will have this card for use.
You're right.
Yes.
Access to competitive forex exchange rates.
Okay, so probably what I should mention here is that this Nyumbani Diaspora account can be opened in different currencies. Think about the top major currencies. So dollar, GBP, euro, and Kenya shilling. So access to the forex exchange rate means that we are able to give you a preferential rate when you're changing money between them.
Preferential according to whom?
We will have a conversation with the customer. So we will listen to the rate. We look at the rate for the day and then give you the best rate.
You also look at the amounts that it's going to be transacted and say, okay, look, that we can beat. Okay.
We do.
Why those three currencies?
So we looked at the top currencies.
Because basically you're saying it's a euro, the dollar, and the pound. Why those three?
Those are the major ones. Those are the major ones that most of the customers we've observed have required to open their accounts in. However, it doesn't mean we don't facilitate their currencies. Yeah, we've just decided to mention those.
Jean, those benefits look similar to benefits in any other bank, at any other facility. What's unique then here?
So the uniqueness of this particular solution, number one, I said we looked at the different pain points for this customer in the diaspora. So I did mention that some of the institutions require you to physically visit their agent. And then cost was another aspect in terms of ensuring that you're able to pay an affordable rate to do the remittance. And then what we observed also is that other institutions, financial institutions, don't have a one-stop shop. So they have, let me call it disjointed solutions. So you're either opening a diaspora account, and then investment is a completely different solution altogether. What we worked on is offering a one-stop toolkit that can cater to all your needs as a diaspora customer. Yes.
Okay. Let's look at what happens in the region, because that's the thing that, if you look at the East Africa region, countries where a lot of trade is happening, some of the biggest trading partners just here in the region, and there are people who are doing individual business. How does the support then open up for them in terms of what they're able to do, exchanging money, passing it back, paying for supplies like that? How does that work?
Goes back to the benefits of this particular product. So number one, it's available in different currencies. So if you're paying someone across the region in Uganda, and if you're paying through dollar, you're already able to open a dollar account. You can do an international transfer or a cross-border transfer directly from this account. And how do you do it? You log into our internet banking or mobile banking to make this particular payment. So everything that you need is at your fingertips. You don't need to walk to the branch. You don't need to physically
even be in the country.
Yes. And then again, because of the preferential rates, you're able to talk to one of our relationship managers. We get your preferential rate when you're doing this transaction. So it doesn't need to be dollar to dollar. You could be sending money from your Kenya shilling account, but it's a cross-border or an international transaction. They will give you a preferential rate.
So this is the current account?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's look at somebody maybe who's in pick a country, in Qatar. They are working and they're getting paid in Qatar, and they have banking solutions in Qatar. Are we saying that they are operating their other account in Qatar, but when they need now to, do some bit of payments, that's when they transfer some money into the Nyumbani diaspora account by Credit Bank, and then that's when they'll do it? Or can they operate this as their main account?
So they would need to, first of all, make sure that this money is in the Nyumbani diaspora account. Yeah, you see, it depends with what the financial institution at play is offering. But we are saying, while you're in Qatar, as long as you can get money into this account, and we have different touch points available today for you to deposit money into your Nyumbani diaspora account. And then you're able to proceed with your business of the day.
So what will allow you to do here is you will have money in this account, and then you can transfer it maybe from USD to, you want to pay school fees, you will pay into the school fees account in Kenya shillings.
Yes. So you can do that. Or you could receive money in dollar, in your dollar account. You could as well have a Kenya shilling account. Nothing stops you from having an additional account.
So you can move into your Kenya shilling account, and then transfer and pay school fees
and then
there.
Make the payment into the institution. As long as the institution has given you the details of how to pay them, that's easily available on the internet banking platform.
In the end, isn't the cost almost the same? Because let's say you're operating an account in Qatar with one of the Qatari banks, and now this is where you're paid. Then you move money from there. Maybe it's also where your savings are and all. You're moving money from there into this credit bank account in USD, moving it into the shilling account, and then transferring it.
I don't think it's the same, because if you look at the option that this Qatari customer has today, are they able to pay directly from their Qatar account to the school? There are many aspects that they need to consider there. But while in Qatar, if you're able to deposit those dollars that were paid to you into your dollar Nyumbani Diaspora account at no cost, of course, because that's a deposit. Then now we begin the conversation of either changing the FX into the Kenya shilling account and then making the payment to the school. The other conversation would include integration into your Qatari bank, and then paying
time
the local
of
school, time of transfer. And then again, we've not thought about the aspect of how you would be able to make this transfer. Do you have channels available to you? What is the effects around that particular conversation with your particular bank? But with the Nyumbani Diaspora account, we've eased that process.
Does it allow bank to mobile money?
Yes, it does.
Bank to M-Pesa?
Yes.
So you can send from this account onto somebody's M-Pesa?
Yes.
As long as money?
Yes. As long as you've credited your Nyumbani Diaspora account, or rather remitted to that account, you have access to all the facilities that are available locally in the country.
When the money is in this Nyumbani Diaspora account, is it then under the purview of the Central Bank of Kenya?
Yes, it's an.
So whether I'm operating from Finland or Qatar or the UK, this is basically now under the regulation of the Central Bank of Kenya.
Yes.
So it already, once I move money into this, it already checks in as remittance. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, it does. It does. It does.
Okay.
And then all the other now transactions become local transactions. Yeah.
Can I ask a KRA question?
I don't think so.
Ask.
Is this money subject to tax?
It is.
There's excise duty on transactions.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is once I have put money into this, I have remitted money into a Kenyan account.
Yes, because
right?
remember
I'm accessing it from whatever outside of the country, but I'm operating basically into this.
Yes.
And what is making it different from opening any other account, because you have other credit bank accounts, what you're encouraging the diaspora person to open this one and not any other is because it's going to be cheaper? I mean, I'm not I'm going to those accounts again.
Sure.
Convenience, number one. Remember, if you were here.
So I was here in Kenya and I had a credit bank account. I have gotten a job in Switzerland.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I still have my credit bank current account, which one of those current accounts?
Current account.
I have a salary account that I've been operating. Why can't I continue operating my salary account from Switzerland?
How will you be remitting funds there?
See to the account.
Yeah.
See, the person, I give them the account number, they pay me.
Or from my Swiss account, because then I've gone there, I've opened a bank account in Switzerland. The same way, I'm moving money from there into my Kenyan account.
So let's look at the cost.
Okay.
They pay you in Switzerland.
Yes.
It takes 6 to 9%, the average cost of remitting to that account, because what they'll be doing is remitting to your Kenyan account, the salary account.
Of your money now?
Yes, of your money. So 6 to 9%.
Of whatever I'm sending?
Of
whatever you're receiving.
Into the salary account.
No. Stop.
Let's say your salary of 1 million shilling CT.
Yes. Yes.
Is being paid in Switzerland. Please stop me if I'm wrong. In Swiss francs, the equivalent. As you're receiving the money in your account.
In Switzerland.
As you're receiving the money.
They tax it.
They would have not taxing. They would have charged you to receive that money up to 9% of that money. So you receive that money average cost less 9%. So 1 million shillings.
So I'm paying the Swiss taxes.
It's a cost of transaction.
It's a cost of transaction.
You see the transaction cost, kawaida.
That Swiss bank is going to charge me 9% of the money I'm sending.
Of you're receiving.
Because you're sending money out of Switzerland.
Yes, and again, remember, the Swiss bank doesn't have a local presence here. So they also have to partner with organizations or remittance companies that will allow the funds to get to your account here. So we've done the homework.
So the amount of money that I'm going to receive is much less than what I intended to send.
Yes.
No.
And what you're explaining then, Jean, before we go to a break, is why you're telling me to, in addition to my that salary account, I now should open the Nyumbani Diaspora account.
Yes,
because now when I open the Nyumbani Diaspora account, that cost is much less.
That's one of the items. Yes, that's one of the aspects.
One of the benefits is that the cost is going to be much less if I operate this other account.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. On that note, now let's take a break.
Now that you know your money is secure.
Now that I can see where the money is going, now we can take a break. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. It's a situation room. We're having a conversation to encourage the diaspora on how to bring money back home. and saying Fintech has made it easier for you to remit money back home, make payments, and that's what this bank has basically done. Credit Bank PLC is licensed and operated by the and regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya, licensed and in operation in Kenya since 1986. All those many years. Now they have many solutions, and now we're talking about one solution for the diaspora, where fintech innovations are making remittances cheaper and faster. Jean Karienye, the head of digitization and digital products at the bank, is our guest. Let's talk about regulation, and that's why I started by saying regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya because you're licensed in Kenya. Now, if you're operating in all these other countries and those other jurisdictions, do you need to comply with those jurisdictions and regulations in those countries?
Yes. The simple answer is yes.
How so then? How do you do it?
So what we've done as Credit Bank, through different integrations, we've ensured that our technical systems are able to integrate to the different touch points that allow us to validate the data that you're giving us. So remember, when you're doing account opening, there's specific information that you require to give us. So we are able to validate according to the regulation abroad as well as local, and ensure that we keep up to the standards that are required. That's number one. Number two, we have a very robust and efficient compliance team. And their job is basically to ensure that we are always updated with new regulations, both abroad and locally. And once they get these new regulations, they work with the digital and the ICT team to ensure that we can plug this into the checks that we are doing.
Have you encountered any challenges?
So far, no.
In compliance? Like, do you need to register with the authorities in each of the countries where you're partnering with others?
So I'll answer that question differently. We are regulated here.
Yes.
Locally. But for us to be able to facilitate remittance from there, we are working with a regulated entity. So it's not necessarily Credit Bank, but we are working with a regulated entity there that can provide the capability to remit the funds.
And that's your partner?
Yes, our remittance partners.
In those countries?
Yes.
That means you're not in all countries?
So what we've done is we've partnered with one that provides access to as many countries as possible. Yes. So we don't have to be physically there, but because of this particular partnership and integration, you can access this Nyumbani Diaspora account, or you can remit to this from, actually they are in more than 165 countries currently. Yeah.
Okay. Can you have more than one person on your account? And it's a question that we've seen coming in. So can you have a secondary signatory on your account as an account holder who is based in Kenya? If you're out there, can you have somebody else who acts maybe as an agent on your account locally? And would you even need that?
The question here would be, is this person basically accessing your account using your login credentials,
is that a joint account?
Or is it a joint account?
Yeah. So remember, it's a personal current account.
Okay.
So you wouldn't need an agent locally. How we've designed this particular account or this solution is you have access to it wherever you are. As soon as the account is opened, you have access to the digital channel. So you wouldn't need anyone locally coming to transact on your behalf. Internet banking provides you the capability to make any of the payments that you would require. You have access to the statements. You have a dedicated relationship manager that can guide and provide even advisory conversations when it comes to investment conversations. So you wouldn't need someone else transacting on your behalf. The same way, if you are here, you wouldn't need me to go to the bank on your behalf to probably initiate a transaction. You already have this on your phone or on your laptop. Yeah.
You know, I can see where that question is coming from. And maybe it's an issue of just transparency and accountability. So this person in the diaspora is running a project in Kenya, or is supporting school fees payment in Kenya. But then they don't want to have this issue of they've put money into their Nyumbani Diaspora account and then transferred it into this other person's account so that, you can pay fundis, because you're dealing with a daily lipa fundi, this is nunua kokoto, lipa mtu ya lori and all those. So you want your local person here to just be going into the account and withdrawing the money to make the payments as you're busy, maybe time difference and all those things. And you will then be able to see, because you have the statements, you'll be able to see what is happening to the money. So you're basically having some control of the expenditures and questions and your accounting purposes. I can see that may be where the person is asking, can I have somebody else also operating this account. I've put money from where I am, and they're withdrawing the money from back home, and I can see
that they're doing this.
Tulisema utoe 10,000.
Ulitoa 20.
Ulitoa 20 kwa nini umelipa nani?
So Eric, if you think about it,
yeah,
in the digital age today, why will you need to withdraw physical cash to go and make payments?
Hata kama ni kulipa kwa hiyo M-Pesa.
It's a question. So what we've done,
you could have money in your pocket.
in your pocket, but this is the secondary person that you're entrusting to go and make these payments for you. But what we are saying is with the Nyumbani Diaspora account, kama ni fundi analipwa on his mobile wallet, you're able to do that.
Yeah, but the time difference. I'm in Australia.
And it's already tomorrow.
This guy is trying to reach me because I'm a deliver nini kokoto hapo. I am asleep. He thinks it's midday everywhere. He wants to be paid now. So I want my local guy to be able to pay now when the now happens there.
So what you can do and what we've facilitated is you can instruct the bank. You can instruct the bank to make a certain payment. However, our channels do come with a capability of scheduling payments.
I see.
So if you are used to planning ahead and you know there are certain payments that need to go out, let's say on Friday, you can make these scheduled payments off our internet banking. So for the abrupt ones or the emergency ones, you can always instruct the bank to do the payment on your behalf.
Do you know what is actually strange? Everything you're saying makes so much sense and it makes life so much simple. But what you're fighting here is the tyranny of habit. Yes. I'm used to my person whom I send. And the very thing you've said, the bank can do that. No, but I want to send him to the bank.
To the bank.
Okay.
So at that point, you can appoint legally and officially. You can tell the bank that I would like CT to be able to come to the bank. These are his details, and he should be able to access certain amounts. But you will do that through the bank, not through the channel. So we wouldn't be the ones to onboard you on the channel. You as the agent, but you're able to access.
Who's going to authorize the bank to...
So me as the Kenyan in the diaspora, there's a process I would need to follow with the bank, and I would be able to appoint someone who will physically visit the branch to access these funds. So there's a legal process that we can follow for that.
You know, even we are in the digital age, but you know, we haven't fully been weaned out of these processes where I need to see someone, I need to talk to them, I need to send them. It's taking a bit of time. Yes. Because something like M-Pesa, I know it took me something around 5 years for me to understand that this thing actually works.
You don't have to actually see the cash for it to be there.
No. First of all, that the money is actually safe.
In this thing.
Yes.
But how is the...
M-Pesa.
How is your trust so far on the digital age?
It's actually really good, especially when they brought in this thing where I can see the name of the person I'm sending to. You have no idea the number of people I sent money to and I didn't know.
So you're able to validate that before?
Yes. So I'm saying technology is good. I appreciate it. But I also understand there's certain needs we have that technology can't quite fulfill. And we are not willing to change. That's really what I'm saying. But the solutions you provide make a heck of a lot of sense. Okay. Especially if I know that there's a schedule to these things. This scheduling, first of all, that's one which I've actually appreciated. So I don't have to be worrying at every week.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a schedule. So even if you call me and tell me, the schedule is, you go on this day.
Payments are made on Friday.
Yeah, so you go on Friday.
And even if you don't go, there's a way you can schedule it on the system, and on Friday at 8 a.m.
You will get paid.
Yes, the money will be disbursed.
So that doesn't, I think it kind of then leans on the trust issue. So then how are you able to guarantee that, customers can then trust and say, really, if I'm wherever I am on the planet, that your money is safe and that it will do what it is meant to do.
Yeah.
Because when it's just often been the habit that diaspora money transactions is synonymous with, like you said, air afterwards, right? But then how then are you able to set in those safeguards, guarantees that folks who put their money in will have their money when they come to look for it?
And that's a very interesting question. It's a very nice question. And I think the one word I would use is transparency. So from the minute you onboard on this account, you're able to log in through the channels. If you've done the remittance, you're able to see that the money I actually remitted, ndio hii hapa. Yeah. And then when you're doing the transactions, because we integrated to all these other channels, the mobile monies and all the other banks, you're able to actually validate that I was paying CT or I was paying Eric. The validation is there. You're able to confirm and reconcile that I've actually done the transaction I wanted to do. You have the e-monthly statements, so you're able to also reconcile how much money is going out, how much money is coming in. Yes. So the bank is there. It's an open book. Your account is an open book, basically. So that builds a lot of trust when it comes to this customer. And then again, we've listened to the cry of the expensive remittance. So we've worked to ensure that we keep it at a minimum of 5%. That also goes a long way into ensuring our customers can trust this particular product.
How do you explain the 5%? Why 5? Why not 2?
So we looked at which aspects or which partner can allow us to get to that 5%. And then there are a lot of things to consider. Remember, we are not there physically, so we have to partner with someone. And he also has the costs that he needs to consider. So we looked for a partner who was willing to sit down with us and understand what our mission and our vision towards providing this particular solution was. And we got to an understanding of 5% would allow them to be able to conduct the business that they're doing while still allowing the Kenyan in the diaspora to remit their funds back home so that the funds can do what they were intended to do.
I didn't see one of the benefits. Monthly charges for operating the account? 0.
No.
None at all?
None.
So the only time I am charged is at the point of transaction?
Yes.
Charged per transaction. And the transaction here would be now the transfers?
Yes.
Depositing money into this account, that's where the up to 5% comes in.
Yes.
Within the account, if I have other accounts within the bank,
we don't charge you for that.
And if I'm now sending out of this account to, say, mobile money or to other non-credit bank accounts,
now the charges apply, depending on where you're sending the funds to.
The local charges,
yes,
though.
The local
as
charges.
long as it's local banks, it's local charges apply.
Yes.
I get it.
You know, there's something to be said, though, about ease of doing business. But the greater challenge is not the ease of doing business, but understanding how that ease applies to me. Because the principle can be out there, and it makes a heck of a lot of sense. Okay, let me explain to you where I'm going to, and then I'll ask you the question. I'm working in the Middle East, okay? I have children whom I'm paying school fees for. Many of them are my relatives, okay?
You have children who, many are your relatives? Okay, I'm sorry. Please.
Yes. My own children are not my relatives. They're my children.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. English is, as we know, is not our, you know what, yes.
I'm good.
But I have your number, by the way.
Thanks.
Yes. So, I want to ensure that all the business that I need to do at home is done through this account.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, walk me through the process of how it is. I started with the fees. There's the fees I need to be paying. Okay?
Septal.
Definitely. Kuna mambo ya hospitali, kuna mtu I have to pay regularly because anaendaka dialysis. Okay? Kuna nyumba
Kamjengo.
yes, okay. Ile ya kwanza nilimaliza, it was okay. I want to build a second one. Okay?
Please go on.
No, you know, I'm watching you. Okay?
Let's deal with those 3.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, please. Yes.
So I walk you through
Yes, please.
how you would be able to...
Yes.
Okay. Are we assuming you already have the Nyumbani Diaspora account?
Yes.
Yes.
Opened it.
We're
And
starting
it's
from
funded.
I have it.
Okay.
And I'm working where I've told you.
Okay.
And there's money.
In the Middle East.
the Middle
Okay.
East, yes.
Okay.
So you would log into your Nyumbani Diaspora account through internet banking, for example. And then from internet banking, depending on who you're paying at that point, if it's for school fees, you have the details of the recipient, of the school that needs to receive the funds. So whether it's a pay bill or whether you need to transfer the money to the school's bank, you would log into internet banking, you go to bank transfers, put the details of the recipient, as well as your children's identification at the school, and make the payment. That happens in real time. Yeah. If you're paying for medical, I believe hospitals today have a business mobile wallet option. So you're paying to a pay bill. You would be able to log into internet banking, navigate to the section of doing mobile money transfers, and you would be able to pay to that particular hospital, depending on the details that you've been given to use to pay. And in real time, the confirmation comes back to the system and you're able to see confirmed. This money has been paid. You can see the deductions in the account.
Jean, you skipped a critical part.
Which is?
Where CT is paid in the Middle East into a Middle Eastern account.
So I skipped the remitting part.
Yes. So let's start from there.
Okay. So you've been paid your salary for your month. What you would need to do is now remit funds into your Nyumbani Diaspora account. And we have different touch points that we have for the customer with our partner today. You can either visit a physical Ria Money store agent, or you can log into their app, or you can go to their website. And at the point of remitting the funds, you choose the destination as your Nyumbani Diaspora bank account.
Okay.
Yes.
So wait. So which country are you in the Middle East?
There's one called Abu Dhabi, I think.
Of a country called Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise known as the UAE, but okay.
So he's in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and the money is in an account, in an Abu Dhabian account. So you're saying he has to go physically to that bank?
He doesn't have to physically go. I believe he may have access to his bank account.
His bank account,
yes.
all right.
Yes.
So go into your bank account with that Abu Dhabian, and then
remit the funds through. So it depends. It depends with whether this bank is integrated to Ria Money.
Okay.
Yeah? If they're not, he would either physically have to onboard the funds. Either use his debit card or his card with his bank and go into the app for Ria Money, or visit a physical store for Ria Money, or go to the website. So if you have physical cash, you go to the physical store.
Okay.
If it's a card, you log into the app, you've already onboarded your card on it, and you're putting the details of where you want to remit to. The beneficiary at this point, you would put your Nyumbani Diaspora account for Credit Bank, and that money would move.
How long does it take?
It's instant.
Across the globe.
So you are remitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's instant. Wherever you are, as long as you're just moving from this to that, it credits immediately. And then immediately now he's able to pay school fees or pay hospital or send mobile money and so on and so forth. And the only cost was from that moment of Ria Money into Nyumbani Diaspora account.
To have an average of 5%.
To an average of 5%.
Yeah.
The rest then is...
Now, the different transactions that he's doing. So if you're paying to a mobile wallet, the M-Pesa
charges,
Airtel Money charges. Yes. So if you're paying to another bank, whether we are routing through PesaLink, those charges would apply.
How do you see this impacting diaspora? First of all, just their confidence in financial transactions, and number two, diaspora remittances into Kenya.
Okay, interesting question. So number one, because of the ease of use and onboarding for this account, we see that there should be an increase in uptake for this particular account, and this should encourage more remittances to be sent back home, because we've catered for the aspect of ease of onboarding and affordable remittance. So more and more Kenyans who are onboarded for this account should be able to send much more when they need to. Then when it comes to the economic, probably, if you're sending money for investment, these are opportunities that might be created locally in terms of jobs. You're improving the livelihoods of your relatives or your family back home. Yeah.
Okay. What does it do for those who may not be working? I ask this because sometimes we have folks who are doing just business or students
abroad.
Does it work in the same way for them, or what benefits or advantages would they have to be able to use this?
Okay, so and that's the reverse of this particular item. So if you're not working or you're a student, first of all, you have to be a Kenyan above 18 years to qualify for this account. So if you're already eligible, if you have met those two standards, so you can open the account. But at this point, it means that someone from here is the one sending money to you in this account. So we would be able to facilitate the credit to this account, but they would need a cash out agent on that side.
What is that?
So they would need to be able to access the funds.
Okay, so it could be
withdraw.
a bank, or it could be like a
So the fact that you have
Remember,
the
you have a
account
Visa
and it's
card as
funded.
well.
Yeah, you have a card, yeah.
Yes,
so
but
you can go to a cash point, ne?
You can go to a cash point, but this card is attached to the account. So we are looking at a student. Yes, so we could give them the card that is attached to this particular account, and the account is funded, and they're able to swipe this card when they are in the diaspora. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Makes it also very, very good for such as well. So what are we calling that? Reverse remittance? Outflows.
Outbound. That's for outbound.
Of money. Why did... Okay, not why. Why is clear. How long did it take you to develop this product?
A couple of months.
What are the challenges that you encountered in developing this?
I think the biggest challenge was ensuring we could provide a one-stop solution, not a disjointed experience for the customer. So yes, you have the account. Have we thought about why you need to remit funds back home? So we needed to plug that in. So just providing the account was not enough. So we've catered for the ease of onboarding and ensured that you can digitally open this account from wherever you are. We've catered for the cost aspect, meaning that it's very affordable for you to remit back home. And then now we looked into the why Kenyans in the diaspora are sending money back home. And then hence we added the investment options into this particular product, as well as bundling up all the other benefits that Ndu here has mentioned.
So what did you do? Did you do focus groups to get to understand what the needs are?
Yes.
How did you get to actually understand these are the needs?
These are the needs
of the customer.
So looking at this setup here, I'm sure we know a friend or a relative who's abroad today. One person at least. And every other day when you're talking, you can get to ask them, but then how do you send money back home to your mom? What is the pain point today? And then of course, even reading and researching on the statistics, you have complaints of people who it's too expensive for them to send money to their mom, or once they send this money, it's not accessible. So yes, we did have focus groups, we did have surveys. Everyone spoke to 3 to 5 people just to get to understand what is the challenge that they're facing on that particular day.
Final question, security. You said it's a very secure platform.
Your money is safe.
How secure?
So we've really invested in technology when it comes to security. The same way you trust us here locally, the same account this new account is also embedded on that security that we have at the bank. So things like ensuring that we are able to validate or authenticate who is logging into the channel to access these funds, that's already catered for. The partner that we've partnered with in terms of remittance, that's someone we've authenticated, we've validated, and we are sure they are regulated in their space. So we are able to facilitate the transactions from that aspect.
Great. Once again, the URL is www.creditbank.co.ke.
Yes.
Just go in there, go to current accounts.
Personal account. Under current, you will see Nyumbani Diaspora account.
Nyumbani Diaspora account.
Or you can email us.
Follow instructions, easy to open, and you can have conversations with Credit Bank. Jean Karienye, Head of Digitization and Digital Products at Credit Bank, has been our guest. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.